And just like that, it is another Sunday night. Everybody, welcome to another episode of Romero Pictures Heavy Metal. Indie Brigade presents the Wagner Wiles with your hosts, Lance and Samantha Wagner, and of course, Tyler Shea Cohn. Good evening, guys. How are you?
Hey.
Good. How are you?
Hey.
Good. How are you?
I am excellent, thank you. Before you guys get to it, I just want to remind everybody that Romero Pictures Indie Brigade is now sponsored by StreamYard. People ask us all the time what program we use to broadcast and how come it looks so cool. StreamYard is the answer. Give them a look. And guys, I am going to be down in the green room, and you just let me know when you want to pull your guests up.
Okay.
Got it.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
Chris also arrived.
Cool.
Oh, yay.
All
Hey,
right.
Tyler.
Hi. How are you guys?
We're good.
I want to wear my hat for
Are
Wheels.
you wearing the pineapple hat because you finally had the pineapple pizza today from Mod Pizza?
Well,
Since before.
hey, Scott Williamson. Yes. For the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Did you catch all that?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I
right.
did.
Hey, David. Hey, David.
Hey, David.
Yeah. Gregory Wheels. Mark's got this for me, so I wanted to wear it for him for the show. For now, just for a few seconds.
Gotcha.
Come on, Turkish. What's up, Turkish? Hey, Tim. Tim's got an Indiegogo going. Everybody help Tim out.
So
We love you, Scott.
Hey, Scott. So everybody's coming on right now. Thank you guys so much for coming on. And I think this show is going to be a little bit different from other shows that you've seen. Number one, we have a lot of guests. The other thing too is, so we have, this show is about creatives. So we have people that have their own art outside of the film industry. They also have art that touches into the film industry, whether that be directly or indirectly. Because any kind of film, a lot of times people want to talk to directors and artists and actors and all this stuff, but they tend to forget about editors and special effects artists and costume designers and all those kind of guys. So I really, really wanted to, we wanted to talk about, to talk to and talk with artists that, like I said, have their own thing going on, plus anything that can be connected with the film. So this is what we're going to do tonight. We're going to have a lot of incredible guests with incredible stories.
A lot.
I'm excited about this. Yeah.
Lots of cool people. So how do we just bring everybody up? We're going to have a drawing too for
We're having a drawing.
yes, Matthew Fessel's and Matt Lill's Hacked, which another connection. Sean Steve Phillips is in this, and that's one Jenna Joe did the special effects on Butcher's Bluff for Sean.
Okay. And then Joe's going to talk about Butcher's Bluff, I assume.
And everything. He's got 1,000 things going.
Well?
Huh?
Did Jenna work on that as well?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Got it. All right. So you guys want to go ahead and introduce the guests one at a time?
Shoot, yeah. However you want to do it.
We got to make sure Joe's back.
Did he give StreamYard love?
There he
I've
is.
been-
He
I
did.
didn't leave. I was waiting for you guys to introduce your guests.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
He's been waiting.
Okay.
Sorry,
So go ahead, Tyler. Let's do it.
All right. First guest is Lariyah Perrin. She is an incredible tattoo artist. She is also she does a lot of prints. She's the lead singer and a bassist in a heavy metal band called Havron. And she also does all sorts of different aspects of art and everything. And you guys can learn more about her when she comes on. So let's bring on Lariyah.
Hey.
Hey, Lariyah.
What doesn't Lariyah do? She does
Lariyah
everything.
pitching and hates playing golf.
Oh, yeah. And she's also a personal trainer and
Wow.
a fitness model.
Wow.
You are. I'm just saying, like, there's a lot. Like, I have a hard time just doing like 2 or 3 things throughout the day, and you do a million, which
Oh,
is amazing.
Nah.
She must have extra time in the day somehow, some way.
Vampires don't sleep, right?
There you go. Morgan Welborn, everybody. He got it. He was Indiegogo is a success
Way to go,
as of
Morgan.
last night.
Yes.
Congrats, Morgan.
All right, next guest is Amber Whitaker. Amber Whitaker does. She is the owner of Dead End Dolls, and for any of you guys that like movies that have really, really creepy dolls, Amber would be the one to put the creepiest dolls in there possible. So she takes regular dolls, makes them look super creepy, and there's one of them right there. There's Amber Whitaker, everybody.
Hey, Amber.
Hello. Thanks
That
for
is-
letting me be here.
That is creepy.
Oh, look.
Another one.
Oh, there's another one.
Oh, that's trippy.
Yeah, how many dolls do you have of mine, Lariyah, now? Like 5?
I can bring them all.
Lariyah just did 10 and a half hours of work on my arm, and she had 3 dolls in front of me. So I really got to study these dolls as she was working. So they're amazing. I mean, the detail in these things, they're insane.
Are you healed up?
No.
Is it still?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Somebody snuck in my room last night. I don't know who, and they scratched my arm.
Oh.
Yeah, and it made me so mad that somebody did that to me.
Mm.
I've heard of slapping tattoos, but not scratching them. Ow.
Yeah, it wasn't me. Somebody else did that. So
Sure.
it's okay. It's okay though. It looks good. All right, so let's go ahead and bring on Jenna Green. You guys introduce Jenna Green.
Jenna, honey.
Jenna
Jenna does special effects. She's a special effects guru
and makeup artist.
and makeup artist.
We're waiting on Jenna.
Joe.
Here.
There's Jenna.
Jenna.
All right, so let's try this again. Let's bring on Jenna, who's a special effects makeup artist, and what else? A little enthusiasm. Come on.
I didn't know who was
Well,
going to do it.
We were waiting on her to pop up so we could so you could
It's
see her
Jenna!
when we introduce her. Yes.
It's over great, and that's my daughter's name, so that's cool. So we love her already.
It wasn't enthusiasm. We were waiting for you to pop in.
Well, it like froze. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So what are you currently working on right now? Is it just Butcher's Bluff?
Well, Butcher's Bluff, we've finished doing principal shooting, and now we've got quite a bit more quick kills to do. That people that actually paid to get killed in the film we're going to be doing. Probably not till the beginning of the year is my guess. So we pretty much wrapped up principal photography on that.
Okay.
I am going to be working on another project. I can't discuss it at this time, unfortunately, but it's a definitely campy 80s style horror film.
I think that's the one we're affiliated with. I think.
Yeah, maybe it's or maybe not. This is a different one. I think the one you're thinking of, I think the one you're thinking of, I'm no longer
Oh, really?
involved. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Dang it.
Creative differences. Yeah, for that one, yeah, it came down to I really just wanted to do things a certain way, and I was getting a lot of pushback, so I said, I think we're gonna have to let you guys do your thing. Yeah, so I just bowed out. But another project, a really cool one, came up.
Awesome.
That's hoping actually will happen about February is what we're looking at right now. So it looks like we'll be shooting in North Carolina.
Okay, cool.
So pretty cool. That's pretty much it for right now. I've got a lot of, before COVID hit, I had 6 projects lined up from March to December. And that kind of all but Butcher's Bluff got canceled or postponed indefinitely. So that was
That's because William Enstone doesn't care about COVID.
Tyler,
I'm kidding.
you're gonna be in the movie, Tyler.
Be in the movie too. I'm going to be there in March. I don't really care about COVID either.
Yeah, I'll see you, Tyler. I'll see you. But yeah, yeah, we've had a lot of fun, and this one has been a blast because I've had a lot of super creative freedom. And it's funny because you can have a lot of big budget films and you don't have quite as much creative freedom as you do in like lower budget films. Sometimes I found because I've been doing this now for 30 years. And it's definitely, there's times when I'm like, okay, I got to do this on the cheap, and I got to MacGyver this, and I've got to do this and this. And I'm impressed with like how well things come out. And I'm like, wow, that looks even better than if I had spent, thousands of dollars on it or something. So it's been a really interesting journey for sure. And it's been a really fun project. William and I sat down, I guess it was January last year, and started talking about it. And then we shot, or maybe it was before that, we shot the trailer. And then, it just kept getting postponed. And when we finally started doing it, it was like, oh, thank God, because we got all these great ideas. But it was definitely frustrating too, just having to like wait and lose actors and lose locations and stuff because of COVID. So yeah, but it's been a blast.
Well, I appreciate that. We're going to come back and visit that in a minute. Let's bring up the rest of. I think we have 2 more people to go. Let's have Joe Castro come over.
6.
Amber.
That's awesome.
I saw 3 of them.
Joe.
Hi, Joe. This is Joe Castro. I don't even know if Joe actually needs introduction. Anybody and everybody knows Joe.
Joe's got the world record
Joe
for
Castro, the FX superstar himself.
He's got the records of
the
galore.
He's the Indie Brigade record holder, return visitor.
I'm so honored to be here with everybody.
He did a zombie live on our Comic-Con.
Yep.
He did.
He did.
Doug
he's got the world
yeah.
record for most kills in one movie.
In a slasher movie.
Movie.
Yeah, the highest body count in a slasher movie. So 155 kills. Yeah.
He's getting ready to do his 4th movie in a badass franchise, Terror Toons.
Terror Toons, spelled Toons, like cartoons.
How many more days left on the Indiegogo, Joe?
It's 24 hours. We got 24 hours left on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And
everybody get on it.
I appreciate everybody's support and contribution so far. I'm surprised we even got this far. We made the first movie for $2,300. So anything over $2,300 is, I'm loving it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I know. We made the first movie for $2,300, and it was 8 copies of it were in every Blockbuster and Hollywood Video in America, and it sat on the shelf right next to Pirates of the Caribbean. Can't go wrong,
Oh,
that was a different time, though. It was a very different time, and it was a different way of making movies and whatnot. But I was lucky to have the opportunity to experience filmmaking in that way. So.
And Joe, most of us like me are way too young to know what Blockbuster is. I don't really know. Okay.
Let's put it this way. My movie was actually released on VHS.
That's crazy.
There was actually 4 copies of it on VHS. And I'm very impressed with these other ladies and the work that they're doing with the dolls and all the creepy stuff. It takes a real gift to make horror creepy. I think a lot of people have lost that. There's a lot of campy stuff going on there, and they're very good. But there's a real art form in making things creepy. So kudos to y'all for making this stuff look really creepy. And also, and is the key effects artist for Butcher's Bluff. William just hired me to make a severed head for the film of Sean C. Phillips, which I was very grateful to have the opportunity to put my fingers in the film a little bit. But Jenna's the one really that's responsible for the blood and gore.
That's awesome.
I want to make sure everybody knows that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Hey guys, there's some guy in the lobby with better hair than me. So.
What? No way.
Chris Pezzano. Hey, Lariyah, will you introduce Chris?
Oh God, yes, I would. So, the semi-alive person still being around us, his name is Chris Pezzano, known as Pez. He is a drummer, and he is a very, very disgustingly creepy doll maker.
Wow. Hey, Chris.
Hey, how's it going,
I love
everybody?
that shirt.
Thank you, Lariyah. I miss you.
Miss you.
So cool.
Hope to see you soon. Definitely.
You will.
So
Look
wait
at
a second.
this
So
cool
Chris also makes dolls, the creepy
It's
dolls.
like half a life thing, so to say. So this is not dolls. This is something that he was haunting me when we were on tour, he literally brought a grandma kind of a doll that looked like she was decaying for roughly 5 years already. And every time I was in a semi-asleep state, he brought that, I'm trying not to curse, but this very horrifying thing in front of my face. And yeah, I'm waking up, like slightly opening my eyes, and I see this creepiest grandmother's face, and he's doing the whoa! I thought I am gonna die every single time he did that. So, and now he's just posing with that doll all the time whenever he's looking at me. So, my God, thanks, Chris,
awesome.
for giving me a nightmare.
Oh, you're welcome. I love you too.
When you can give a gift that keeps on giving, that's awesome.
I've been working in the haunted house industry since about 85, 86. I used to work in Castle Dracula, which is located in Wildwood, New Jersey.
Oh, wow.
And God, I'm trying to remember how old I was. This, late teens, almost around 20 or something like that. And started getting into like makeup and just like, haunted house type stuff and everything. And it just spiraled into what I do now. So probably speak for most of us, all this kind of stuff goes hand in hand. Haunted attractions and just doing special effects and making creepy dolls and, just taking anything that you could possibly get your hands on and see if you can create something out of it.
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
I'm sorry. I was going to ask, and it kind of anybody and everybody could answer, is when y'all were kids, did this kind of thing like was it your thing, or did you like somehow one day just be like, I like this shit and I want to do it, or did something creep you out enough that it, like you wanted to make it your friend?
Yeah, that's a great question.
I can say like I was always the weird one in school. It was the 90s too. So I mean, I think of 90s goth, the weird chick, like the craft type shit going on. But yeah, I was always the weird one. I like that stuff. It felt kind of weird because I was like the outcast or whatever, but now I embrace it. It took me till like after college when I finally like found myself and met people, like-minded people that appreciated the horror stuff. So, but yeah, growing up, I always liked it. I just wasn't able to express myself with that because it was weird. So I don't know if anyone else can relate with that, but
I grew up on a goat ranch.
I love goats.
With a slaughterhouse. And we used to, I almost hung upside down with their throats slit, screaming for their lives. From the time I was like 2 to like 15 years old, I saw every kind of twisted, grotesque, torturous thing as a child. And watching horror movies and gore movies was actually like a breath of fresh air and a step away, because I knew it was fake. And
oh wow, yeah.
And that's one thing that I realized, because I was in a horror film and I've been introduced to the horror film as the film industry as an actor, not necessarily as a fan, but I've gotten to learn more about the fans and everything like that. And there are a lot of people where they're, like just because they're really into the dark stuff or they're really into the gore, or they're really into those kind of things, doesn't necessarily mean that that's just that's their obsession. That's the way that their life is, like Lariyah, for example, as we gotten to know each other, she's talked about, she just likes stuff that's dark, but she is a very positive, very like strong, just really like a pleasant person. So even though she has the fascination with the dark stuff, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's what her personality is. And so, Joe, you were saying the same thing, where it's like there was that separation on that. Billy Pond's another example of this too, because he's his stuff is creepy, but he's just
Billy Pond.
Yeah. Well,
like I like to advocate for back in like 70s and 80s, like people like especially even special effects, like actual animal parts in their films, in their art, like actual animal organs, and would kill real bugs on camera and stuff like that. And I kind of try to advocate to technology. We can do this stuff without using real parts, and for that matter. When I see special effects artists put like real maggots or real worms into their blood onto a corpse, I'm like, I immediately turn it off. We have the technology. We don't need to do that anymore. And,
right.
I just wanted to say that, first of all, Tyler, you're taking away from my bitch reputation, so please hold that, okay? And secondary, what I think...
I didn't get to finish about, how much of a bitch you are.
Oh, thank you. Okay. But I think, and also quite a few of my friends that I was talking about that subject, they had something in their lives that just had that switch, that when they hit that puberty and they realized what was happening in their life before, like maybe they came from a broken family, or there was some home abuse or something, and they preferred to stay outside, they preferred to be in the hidden world, and everything that was dark was actually comforting them, So in my opinion, this is something that a lot of people can relate to, and that's how we all are driven mostly to all this obscure, all this death and everything that we feel more comfortable versus those how to call them, the happy people or whatever, the normal people, I guess. They're like, well, what in hell? Like, you guys are so weird. It's like I feel like we all here are way more emotional, and expressing our lifestyle is pretty much showing that we have gone through a lot of shit.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I agree with that. So Amber, that's a good question for you.
Oh shit! I'm sorry, kitten. I almost tripped over my hat.
So, Amber, so your dolls. So you live in Chicago. You go to a lot of conventions around that area and everything. What motivated you, or what inspired you to really get into taking a normal looking doll, like Lariyah was saying, a normal person, and just creeping it the fuck out?
Actually, I was bored, honestly. I was sitting around and I had a porcelain doll for some reason and some paint. And I was like, well, what can I do with this? And just started from there. But like I said, I've always been into the weird stuff, and I have been into art stuff. I was one of the best artists in my high school. Not that that says a lot. You realize that once you get out into the world, and it's like when you come from a class of 200 and then you go out into the world and start meeting other artists and stuff, it's like, oh wow, I really have a lot to learn. And that's kind of what I did, meeting new people and finding out what they were into and getting to know them. And I'm like, wow, that's really cool. But to answer your question, yeah, I was just bored. And I decided to paint a doll, and it kind of went from there. And I posted the picture on Facebook of the first doll I ever did, and it was horrible, keep in mind, because it was the first doll I ever did. But everyone's like, oh, that's so great. You should start selling those. I was like, okay, well, that sounds like a great idea, extra income. So that's what I did. And ever since then, I've gone to a lot of different alternative art conventions and sold my dolls there. I think altogether, just an estimate, in the top of my head, guess of how many dolls I've sold is probably 200 maybe.
Wow.
So, and I've only been doing it for 3 years, so not a long time.
Wow.
But I also do other art stuff too, just simple stuff, because sometimes you go to those art conventions and people don't want to pay $50 for a doll. They're there to spend $10 or whatever. So I came up with the Teddy Bear, which is a stuffed animal.
So cool.
Teddy Bear.
That scared the hell out of Lariyah. She just totally
just took off. She must have one.
She's
She's going to get it.
She's got the rabbit version.
Teddy Bear bunny.
Yeah. So I mean, this is really easy for me, and it's some people want, especially the children, which is great, because I love that the children are not freaked out by this. It's stuffed animal. Oh, I want it, but then it's like, oh, it's got a skull on its face. So I mean, just other things like that. I've also taken things I buy at the Goodwill. I'm a big fan of the Goodwill, because you can find some great stuff there and just turn it.
Too. He likes that too.
Yeah. I have a whole bunch of stuff here on my desk. I thought I just thought pick a look. I had my partner bring in this giant hand from this is a big monster hand from this movie called Big Freaking Rat. It's actually a glove.
That's awesome.
Cool.
That's James Balsamo's movie, Joe.
No, that Big Freaking Rat is a movie that was directed by Thomas Churchill, and I did the
Thomas, that's right.
original Dr. Carnage from the
Yes.
Terror Toon franchise. This is actually the original mask.
Yes.
Isn't that awesome?
And I didn't make this mask. Actually, this mask was made by Mark Villalobos for the film. And let me see. It's actually me. I don't know if you can tell. It's me.
Well, since you're talking about this is you, I wanted to tell you guys that you need to invite Amber to your birthdays and everything else, because I invited her to be my bridesmaid, and this is what she gave me. This is
I made a Josh and Lariyah bridal set.
That is awesome.
But look at the face,
You're so creepy. That is so cool.
isn't it? We're both creepy as hell. This is so cool.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
I still love the people that were working at your wedding venue. They see all these tattooed biker-looking scary people coming in, and as it turns out, we were the best people that they have had there because we're fun.
Yeah,
We're
they
fun and we're
were
different.
coming to us to give us all those congratulations and stuff, and they're like, "You have like the coolest people at your weddings."
So you're finding like all the like nuances of the people that you are looking at to make the doll, and you add them to the doll to make them look like them, right?
Joe, did
Like
you catch Lisa's request? Joe Castro, did you catch Lisa's request?
Can you
Can you introduce your friend beside you?
Yeah. This is Lloyd Kaufman right here.
Good
From,
catch, Ron.
A brand new movie called The Barn 2, directed by
Cool.
Justin Seaman.
Can't wait for The Barn 2. Oh,
Yeah, and I won't tell you what happens to him, but this is the remnants of him. And
that's awesome.
yeah, and I don't know if I brought this out in the show before, but this is from Xenophobia, which is
Oh, that's cool.
his eyes are
Nice.
supposed to be kind of metallic looking, and I based it off this old woman I found online. Can you tell? I mean, can you tell? Look, it's like this old, like there you
Mom?
go. Kind of like what do you call it? What's that?
That's the movie
Alzheimer's
right
look
there.
in her eyes, like where I got a thing, so kind of lost. Knock on wood. That doesn't happen to
Kind
us.
of funny talking
We can't
about
hear you, Joe.
cartoons.
I know. I noticed I had my mute button on.
Okay.
Joe, I live in Florida. I see those people constantly.
Yeah. I always try to I don't care what it is, alien, demon, whatever. I always start with an actual human face that I find, and I try to incorporate something real into everything I do.
And that's a good question that I want to lead over to Chris. So, Chris, you do a lot of zombie work. You worked on The Walking Dead. You've done a lot of zombie stuff. Is that kind of your wheelhouse, the zombie stuff, or do you kind of do a little bit of everything?
I've been on the show since season 5, well over 30 times.
Wow.
I haven't been a makeup artist on the show. I just wanted to, clear that up because a lot of people think I have been on
Because
as
you
a makeup artist.
Stuff. Okay. Got it.
You have to be a part of the union, which I'm not, and I'm not a resident in the state of Georgia. But I do have friends that are, in part of the K&B team, Kevin Wagner and a few others, and they told me they're like, if we were able to hire you, we would do it in a heartbeat. But now I have been every level of walker there is, and I think it's at least 4 or 5. Everything from what would be considered, deep background, half mask, all the way up to a hero walker, which would be considered, like Bicycle Girl or the, Screwdriver and the eye socket zombie, is attacking Andrea in the RV.
Right.
And part of Jada's group, the scavengers, the ones that everybody looked like they had some 50s slicked back hair mullet type of hairdo. Male, female, everybody had to wear that. And I remember we were all out there. It was like 90 degrees in, Georgia weather. And you can feel this, shit that they put in your hair. It felt like it was starting to sizzle because it was so hot. And all I remember is it just felt like something was crawling on you the whole time. It was awful. It was LA Looks, I think was the name of it, or something like that. Just you got there and you're like, all right, you ready? They get a big handful of it and they're just like, slapped it in your hair. And I was like, this sucks, man. But it's a lot of fun. I absolutely love doing it. You
guys should
just enough battery power. I think I can walk around the room and show you guys some of the stuff that, I've made. My house is literally filled, and Lariyah knows how much stuff I have laying around over here. Anything from, life-size props and everything that I've made. And
that you made.
I don't have any dolls at the moment. One's for sale. They've all been sold out and everything. But I'll try to take you guys around the room and show you some of the stuff I've made.
And Chris, while you're walking, can I ask you a question real quick? So you had mentioned the union, and I think for a lot of filmmakers, for a lot of audience members, anybody watching the show, there's and filmmakers alike, there's a lot of intimidation. There's a lot of confusion around unions. So you have actors union, you also have crew union, you have different unions that are involved in this kind of stuff, and there's different requirements in order to get into these unions. So even though Chris has been in 30 of these shows, and he's done all this stuff, and there's still there's still hurdles that you have to jump to get.
Very much so.
And I'm sure Jenna and Joe will also be able to chime in on this as well, because I'm sure they've come across this too. But if you can give a little bit of insight for our audience as far as how the union affects you positively or negatively as an artist, because I know for me, and hopefully SAG is not watching, they affect me negatively. Because I'm not supposed to work on anything that's non-union, because I've been in the union for years, and what that does is it chokes me. I can't, unless I go and break the rules, I can't do anything that is non-union. And so I just wonder, as crew and as an artist that's not an actor, like how does that affect you as well?
Well, I mean, I've been working in the industry for 39 years. And
That's a long time.
I'm not into special effects makeup. I'm not into makeup union because I don't get to do what I do if I was in the union. I mean, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You don't get to design, show it to the director, take it, then create it, put your name on it, and paint it. You don't get to do that, and then go to set with it. Do that. That's not how the union works. It's like there is hierarchy, and someone has to die before you actually get to do that.
Yeah,
that's
agreed.
The way it works. Yeah.
Agreed. I'm in the same zone too. I've been doing this for not quite as long as Joe, but 30 years. And
like, were you like in the wound when you started?
Yeah, she's so young.
Right?
Yeah, so you're 22.
Oh, shit.
You'd have to blame my parents for that when they got me hooked on horror films when I was a little tiny infant.
Wow.
It's all their fault, thank God.
Same here.
But same with Joe. It's the same thing, and I have people tell me all the time, join the union. Are you in the union? Are you in the union? And I'm like, no, because I don't want to be told what I can work on and what I can't work on, and I want to be able to not have to deal with a hierarchy, like Joe was saying. So to me, as an artist, it's super important to be able to have certain freedoms that I think, belonging to the union would not afford you. So I've I've thought about it a lot over the past several years, and I'm still in the zone of thinking, no, I don't want to do that. I'm quite happy where I am.
That makes sense. And it sounds like, Chris, you've been battling this for a while. as well. But is it a battle for you, or have you done the same thing as Jenna and Joe, and you're just like, I'm just not even gonna?
I've had the privilege of working on both. I guess considered union and non-union sets.
Right.
I guess there were some loopholes that since one of my best friends is a very well-known makeup artist named Robert Hall. But he had a company called Almost Human Effects for quite some time, and we've been friends for 28, 29 years now. And he, recognized, I guess, my talents and stuff like that. And he was like, yeah, man, we definitely need to get, you out here on set with me and stuff like that. So I got to work on a few films with him, one being a movie called Mary, starring Gary Oldman and Emily Mortimer. And I got to play two characters in the movie, and we did all of the makeup effects and stuff for the film too. The only part that sucks about it is I won't go into names or anything like that. But since some things were done incorrectly, they weren't able to use any of the stuff that we had come up with, including the main creature, which was a siren that would have been on the front of the boat. But it turned into basically just they used CGI instead of bringing us back out there and reshooting it or whatever.
I'm gonna cry. Seriously.
But,
CGI is like the
I'm
nightmare.
I'm so sorry you had that experience. Because I can
Does it
only
seem
imagine.
like that CGI is like taking place of some things that we don't want to happen? Have y'all seen that?
Unfortunately, yes. And I could probably almost speak for everybody here that has anything to do with, with effects. Don't get me wrong. With CGI, as long as it's not way overdone or something like that. I mean, it can definitely be very helpful too. And especially since a lot of the directors and producers or whatever may not have the budget to get some of these really well-known special effects artists and stuff like that. Sometimes they have no choice in the matter, but I guess to cut cut corners or whatever, and CGI it. I mean, just so much as you could spend up to 1,200 hours on a pair of contacts, but somebody can go in there and digitally and put them in for a fraction of the cost, if you see what I'm saying.
Yeah.
People think CGI is expensive, but it's not now. It's very inexpensive.
I've got my phone cranked as loud as it can go. That's why I've got my face almost all the way up against the phone.
You just want us to see.
You're absolutely correct. CGI is so inexpensive nowadays. I hear like the average lifespan of a career in CGI is 2 to 3 years. That's how fast young people are learning how to do it, and they're bringing them into the studio system.
Mm-hmm.
And they're getting burned out that fast.
No, someone younger comes in and will work for the same amount of money or cheaper.
Wow. Okay.
Same thing happens with effects artists, I think, in general too.
I kind of agree with that, but also on that same note, I'll let you. I just want to say, you get what you pay for, especially when it comes to practical effects.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of.
Those who know Rick Baker, look why he got out of the business was for that very reason. Because it just wasn't worth it anymore. Yeah. Everybody wants it, quick and cheap. And
okay.
Joe, when the first Terra Tunes came out, what year was that? 83, you said?
No, the first Terror Tunes came out in 2002. We shot it in 2001.
2002. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to remember. We actually have an odd connection there. I had a friend named J.N. Logan who did the soundtrack for that.
Josh Logan.
Josh
Logan.
Logan.
Yeah, Josh Logan.
He's the one that got me the roll-in chainsaw. I've been
That's so cool.
I was like
So
16
cool.
years old.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And I remember a discussion with him because he was doing practical effects and makeup and everything at the time too.
Yeah, we worked at the
Before
same
that,
shop.
I think. And he said he was telling me, he's like, I don't know if you want to get into this or not, man. It's kind of a dying art. And I was like, why? And it was like, well, computers and CGI. And I was like, oh, well, I don't really know much about that, but I went ahead and dove in and went for it anyway. But it's really funny because it's been over the course of, I guess, probably about 4 years ago, I worked on a film called Quantum Terror, low budget, done locally. We had a budget of like $10,000, I think. But the director is also a really good CGI artist. But this particular film, we literally did creatures out of we made them out of bubble wrap. We made them out of plastic bags and clay. Yep. We did all this really, old school stuff. My boss was a guy named Alec Gillis out of Studio ADI. And he just was literally that's what we did when we started ADI. We were doing that. Yeah. And when the finished project I just saw recently, because bless it, Christopher, the writer, director, editor, everything, he has been doing all this by himself after we shot. So it's been taking him a long time to get the final thing done. But after seeing what he was able to do with all of that, I was actually really blown away. And for me, that was like the perfect marriage of CGI and practical. I mean, never look at that stuff and everything.
That technique with the plastic bag you're talking about, bubble wrap, that's a very unique, highly appreciated art form of special effects stuff. I think Steve Johnson kind of mastered that. And so, awesome. No, I mean, there's that stuff is amazing. You can't do that kind of effect unless you're working with plastic bags and bubble wrap. And I understand exactly what you're talking about.
And it was one of the most fun experiences I have ever had working on a set because, it was just like, wow. I was actually blown away with all the things that, we were able to come up with and the cool creatures we were able to make. And we got, it was funny because Alec Gillis actually sent us some of the tentacle mechanisms from, I think, the Alien films. That I think functioned the tentacles. The tails, the alien tails. Mm-hmm. And we used them for tentacles because this film is, the Quantum Terror is very H.P. Lovecraft, high quality, a ton of tentacles. And I was just geeked out about the whole thing. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm playing with these things. But awesome. It was just really, really, a really cool experience to be able to do that because I had never done anything like that unless it was for a haunt or something. So actually doing it for a film was it was a really cool learning experience, and I was just blown away by the whole process. Actually, it was a lot of fun. Definitely.
Cool. I had a question, but awesome. I wanted to go to Chris real quick. Chris, you were nodding. What were you nodding to? What were you meaning?
I don't think he could hear you.
Chris, you were nodding while she was saying that. What were you thinking when she's nodding?
Oh, but
the bubble wrap.
Basically, sometimes what you have to just, utilize whatever you have around you. Sometimes I remember when we did the movie Dead Still. Hold on, the kitten is trying to. There, everybody say hi to Lucy here. Who is trying to play with the cord while I'm trying to charge the phone. Lucy, stop it. Sorry about that. I remember we had to use great stuff. And we took 2 Bucky skeletons. And it was a scene where, it was the couple, having sex or whatever. And I'm not sure if any of you have seen the movie Dead Still or not. Booth Brothers production. Okay, Lariyah, you got to see it. There was a death scene, and if your picture was taken with this, actual Victorian dead still camera from the 1800s, you would die, some really horrible death. But they burned up, so we had to come up with something real, like basically on the fly. So we used great stuff, just several kinds of just acrylic paints, and Idaho mashed potato flakes.
Sweet.
And we dyed them, and it actually worked. It worked out really well. So that's why I was kind of like just nodding my head when Jenna, is that your name?
Jenna.
Okay. When she was mentioning bubble wrap, I was just like, oh, well, it just brought back, that kind of, that memory to where we had to do that. And, even when I'm making stuff around the house or whatever, I'll just, grab anything and try to, Frankenstein it together, MacGyver it together, however you want to, however you want to say it.
Lariyah has something to say.
Yeah, because clearly I don't make anything for the movies, but I'm pretty sure everybody watched Ed Wood, right? So
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's this is something that I was always so interested in as far as how things go, and it was so funny, like seeing, for example, Amber looking at dolls, and she's like, what to do, and she grabbed like just random stuff laying on the table, and she's like, yeah, I'll just work with that. And so yeah, Pez the same. Awesome. Like he's just thinking all around, looking in the kitchen. Oh, random knife. I'm just gonna attach it. I go. And like just in with the Ed Wood, like when they were stealing the props for the movie from what was it, the theater, I believe, and they were fighting with that big tentacle that you guys were talking about.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about that, and this is so much better to actually have just a right angle and the right time, even if it's something that from very close up doesn't look exactly too realistic, but you make it because of the motion. It is so much artistic that all that crappy CGI, to me, is just like a roller coaster. You have those new 3D roller coasters that you're just sitting and everything is shaking. I'm getting a terrible panic attack.
You go ahead.
Fine. Okay. I'm trying to be a good person here. Thank you. But if you're rolling on that real roller coaster, you have that actual experience. And this is what is happening right now in the industry. And me, from a third person or a viewer, I suppose, that is not exactly involved in the artistry of it, it's the experience is so much different. So I am not a big fan of the new stuff. The old stuff, maybe not this terribly, like, very old stuff that is looking like a goo, but, like the very nice taste, like Jenna was saying, of the perfect blend between the real stuff that is happening with a little bit of computer that is done right,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, one of my favorite household items to use in special effects is whenever I'm doing like a melting sequence. And only because I was in a position I worked on a movie called Exorcism at 60,000 feet.
Love that movie.
and there's a scene where a guy is having sex with a girl who's possessed by a demon, and she makes him melt while they're having sex. And I was supposed to have 2 hours to do this melting sequence. And the director comes up to me and says, "Joe, you're only going to have 15 minutes." So I had to immediately redesign the entire sequence of how I was going to have him melt. So I went over to the craft service and I took all the salad dressings from the craft service table. And I was pouring these different colored salad dressings on his face as he was screaming.
That's
and
awesome.
putting makeup effects on top. I wasn't even gluing the makeup effects on. I was just taking the appliances and putting spray glue on the back of them and sticking them on his face like a sticker and pouring salad dressing over it. That's all the time I had to do. So salad dress, I've used that technique a couple of different times for melting, but
he worked with
works.
Adrian Barbeau in that movie. He was actually touching Adrian Barbeau in that movie.
Adrian, I put Bill Moseley's makeup on, and I got to work with Lance Erickson and Bai Ling and Matthew Moy, and all. It was a real treat.
That was a funny movie. That was a fun movie to watch. I was going to ask Amber. Amber, do you make dolls for actual movies, or have you mimicked any from actual movies to sell?
I have not had any dolls in actual movies. I mean, obviously, like I'll make dolls that are based off of characters from movies. I've made a couple of Pennywise dolls. Annabelle is one of my favorites and one of people's favorites for some. They always request Annabelle dolls. So, but okay, that's cool. The Maleficent doll, actually, I have her over here. I actually made the
Oh wow!
the horns from clay, and the wings are all made from scratch, and like the talons.
From
What was
scratch.
that?
He goes, what do you mean from
What do you mean from
scratch?
scratch?
Oh,
Like
I
the
mean,
wing.
I'm not. No, I don't just go to like the store and buy like pre-made things. Like it's all like Lariyah was saying. I never throw anything away, because as soon as I throw it away, then damn, I really wish I had that because I could use it.
Yep.
But yeah, like the wings made from scratch. What I mean is, like, I have 3rd-degree burns on my fingers from the hot glue of gluing like 500 feathers.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a process of, and I'm a perfectionist, so they all have to be. I don't know if you can really like see it, but all the feather. There's like 500,
Beautiful.
500 freaking feathers on here, so it was involved.
And so,
But
no, you go ahead. Sorry, I'm just excited.
please be excited. I'm excited
Yes.
too.
If anybody wants to see any of the stuff I have,
I've been dying
I
to see it, Chris.
literally got to walk around to it because it's all life-sized.
Like a museum there.
Here, let me show you.
I wanna see
This
it.
one actually
Man,
moves,
man,
but I'll have to go plug it in.
Oh,
Let's see if you can. I don't know if you guys can see this.
Oh wow!
And this is how Chris looks every day. How he looks right now. He actually put a real person mask on, just so you guys know.
That's right. I don't have any idea if you guys can see this or not.
Oh yeah, it's coming out good, Chris. That is wicked.
Very cool.
That looks like that grandma. Oh my god. That's like,
Lariyah's gonna have nightmares tonight.
I
So
love how your dolls are like super horror and super creepy. I just love them. And I know you and me have never met in person, but we're friends on Facebook, and you've actually helped me out a couple times when I post a doll, like, and I'm so proud of it. And you're like, well, you should try this. If I have a problem or something, well, I'm not really sure about that, but you should try this. And it's really helped me out a couple of times. So thank you. But it's funny because your dolls are really, really creepy, and mine are more like creepy cute. So there's like, it's art. Like everything's different, it's art. So there's no right or wrong answer. It's just, to people's opinion.
Yeah,
Like
my
the-
stuff
like the
is
kids
just
say.
homemade
latest.
series.
Creepy
And-
AF,
and,
Amber.
Amber said that hers are creepy cute, and I agree with that because I've stared at them for some time, but they're not like, oh my gosh, like they're really making them uncomfortable. It's like, oh, those are like cute little zombie dolls. But
This
that
is
right
one of
there,
my
that I'm looking
latest.
at,
This
like
is the
I don't really want to cuddle with that.
Nah.
It's awesome though. It's beautiful. It's gory, beautiful.
Wow.
Very creepy.
It's like a
All my
museum.
stuff is silly. It's not that creepy.
Oh, right.
I want to come over, Chris.
Field
wanna come-
trip
I
to
wanna-
Christmas.
I want to come check it out.
Field trip to Christmas and a field trip to Joe's.
That's right.
Tyler, while he's walking around, what were you so excited about? I want to hear.
So what I'm excited about is
Oh, I wish I could hear better.
it's all right. What I'm excited about is I've been in this industry for a long time, and I've been on sets as an actor. And usually, as an actor, you get on set, you memorize your lines, you know your marks, you shut the fuck up, and you set aside, like, let the crew and everybody do their thing. So I've always observed like crew members and especially special effects artists that are, like Joe said earlier, it's like they're given this deadline that almost seems impossible. And I have very rarely seen anybody on set kind of be like, I can't do it. They just They
Make
figure it out. They just do it. It's the most amazing. And I still remember this one guy on the movie Michael, the John Travolta film a long time ago. And the cinematographer went over to one of the lighting guys and said, I want this and this. And it sounded like a really intense kind of situation that they were going to totally change everything up. And he just said, okay, watch this. And then he went to work and just figured it out. Like on the fly, like you have to figure that kind of stuff out on the fly. So I appreciate that. That's what I was excited about. Also excited about the fact that
I read that.
Say again, Sam.
Nothing. No, we're arguing.
She's being a turd.
Turd.
Yeah.
You guys do know you have a mute button, right?
And then the other thing too is, I would love to see, like Joe was saying earlier, I would love to see. Like I miss 35 millimeter Panavision 35 millimeter. Everybody does everything digitally now. And I would really love to see films being made on film. I would love to see special effects. Like
I shot my first film 35 millimeter Panavision.
Oh, you did?
Back
Did you first?
digital cameras. And we shot everything on the Panavision. My cinematographer worked at Paramount in the photo department. That's where they developed like people's pictures, and they stored the film stock. After they were done shooting a TV show, they would bring the film stock in that wasn't used for the day, that they unloaded from the camera, and they called it a short end. And so they would sell it to independent filmmakers that wanted it. Okay, because just because of the insurance, they would never load a roll of film that's already been opened into a camera and used for a union television show.
Wow.
But when when the refrigerator would get filled up with short ends, they'd have to dump it. So he would stored up enough footage for us to shoot like a 1-to-1 shooting ratio of 35 millimeter Panavision, and so we got like $70,000. But then it took equal amount of money to purchase it as it did to develop the film. So it would cost $70,000 to actually develop a film if you shot at 1-to-1 shooting ratio on Panavision.
Wow.
So not anybody could make a movie. Like literally,
I'm saying
no one today could make a movie.
I
the way
missed
we did
it.
it back then.
I don't think everybody should do it.
That's a whole other show.
I like that. I also want to go back to Lariyah's artwork and everything, because like she said earlier that she's not directly connected in film. However, she is going to be the star of a film that Lariyah, can we talk about Build?
Go ahead.
Okay, so she's going to be the star of a film that's really about her life, and Lariyah and Chris, and stop me if I go too far. I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of say like the experience that you guys had. So 5 years ago, they were in an accident. They were on tour with their bands, and in the van, Chris lost two of his band members. Lariyah lost one of her band members. She lost her drummer, and she also almost lost her hand. That is the most important piece to her body, because that's what she does. All of her art, tattooing, all that kind of stuff. And
bass playing.
That they said that they were going to amputate her hand, and she said, "The fuck you are," and then passed out. Not amputate her hand, and they actually were able to reattach it and everything. And 3 years later, she started tattooing. And 2 years after that, she gave me, like, she's an incredible artist. She's, I mean, everybody here, I'm sure Amber and Chris obviously know, but like she does photorealism. She does all these kind of things. And so this movie Build is really about her whole experience, which for me, when I think about like experiences that are tough, they span over like a 20-year period. This is over 5, which to me is like just a blip. It's like, how in the world do you have this happen? And then 3 years later you recover, and then you're doing this. And not only that, I mean, like I said earlier, she's doing the bone work, the clothes, the leather work, all these different things. She also does prints and sells prints and everything. And it's just amazing to me. Like, it makes me kind of feel like a lazy sack of shit.
Well, I know you're not.
Tyler.
We are about to wrap up for today, right? Or do I have like 10 seconds to say?
No, you have
No,
plenty
you
of
go
time.
ahead.
Okay, well,
Joe will kick us off here in a minute. He'll
okay.
tell us.
Yeah, you have
Well, to say it very briefly,
Kicks me
I guess
off.
as brief as possible. The thing is that with the filmmakers that decided to I guess stand their interest in my person, I've worked with them way before the accident happened with a previous band from Chicago. They've done all kinds of music videos. They've done a documentary about the band that actually got a bunch of awards. And forgive me for my ignorance, I don't really know much of the industry to name them. One day we should probably get them on because they're absolutely fantastic. And Biljana is self-made of a filmmaker. But anyhow, so they've been monitoring everything since probably like 10 years or so of my life. And once this happened, her and her sister are pretty much leading El Jinete films, and they asked me if I would be even willing to show what happened to people and not to even spin too much of a difference, but to make it very realistic. Even realistically, oh wow, my face is big right now. Because, even what happened in the real life, there is not much really to add to make it dramatic. It really was because. This is, I know that you guys are into special effects. This is not really a special effect. This is like a natural, weird special effects. Like it actually moves like with like stuff, you know? So this line is, where am I here? So this line was exactly where things was absolutely cut off. So all of that was chopped. And that was back in the day when I was modeling, when I was a personal trainer, and I was always into art. So I was selling just on the side all the like portraits or whatever I could do just to make some extra cash. And all of that was just taken away from me, you know? And it's the movie, it's not exactly even about, oh, poor you, because the last thing I want is any pity. That's why I've decided to, to take my life in my hands, or one hand then, and just try to do the rehabilitation myself, because they didn't even want to send me for rehabilitation. And, I'm just trying to stretch my hand and do anything. And after half a year, I felt some tingling sensation in my hand, and I was thinking like, holy shit, something is actually rebuilding. Even that the doctor said it's absolutely impossible. It's not going to happen. So the movie is not necessarily about, oh, poor you. It's more about the belief that you can do, and not just something simple, but even if the life throws some serious shit under your legs, you can push through. And if you want to even be a bodybuilder, why the hell not? Because there are people that have lost their legs, that they're on wheelchairs, etc. They're doing things that the regular folks cannot even imagine, or they don't have that strength to put themselves through. So Biljana and Cameron now, so the team, they're working on trying to capture not just the struggle and not just the pain, but all the effort put into work, just to pretty much give people encouragement and show you can do that. So, and being an artist myself, I don't consider myself an artist, but being familiar with artistry is something that adds up to it, because they're pushing me in the meantime, not only physically, since the movie will be pretty much focusing on the physical strength that you can actually lift things, but also the utility of the hand, that even that it was chopped off, you can push yourself mentally to overpower the physical kind of aspects of it, if it makes any sense. So it's going to be very built up. And but yeah, as Chris can probably get on that side, as much as of the trauma both Chris and I had. Chris is messed up inside right now more than I could even imagine, and it's not a joke. Like, he's literally going hospital to hospital because of the internal injury, but we at least survived, and we are just the ones that are grateful for that. And the last thing we can do is just to I don't know, put out the memory of those who have fallen, and they were so much better of people than we were. Like, they were actually good people, happy people. We're the assholes really here. So, yeah.
Thank you so much, Lariyah. That was like everything you said was fantastic, and I have so much respect for you and for Chris and all of you, and you know, it is amazing, and honestly, like I said earlier, Lariyah, I met Lariyah through a mutual friend that recommended her to me because I was looking for a tattoo, and she has given me something that not only do I just love as the tattoo itself, but connecting it with her and her story. And now I have this new friendship with Lariyah that I think is going to last a lifetime. Like, it just means so much more to me, everything that I have here. And I cannot wait to see what's going to happen with her film. I can't wait to see, you know, anything else that she's going to do, like, because I just kind of have a feeling that she has no limits. I have limits. I think I need to work on that, but she has no limits, which is incredible. And you guys are the same way. Like I said earlier about people that do things like Amber with her dolls, and Chris and Joe and Jenna with your special effects. Like, you guys have this ability to just not doubt yourself. When somebody says you need to do this, you have 2 hours to do this. Oh, wait a second. No, you have 15 minutes to do this. You figure it out. You do it.
Yeah.
Is amazing to me, and it's inspiring. And that was one of the big things that I wanted about this show was for the audience to show what's inspiring and what's motivating. Those are the two most important things that I think that anybody has. And so I'm really grateful that all of you were able to share all of your stories and everything that you guys, you know, that kind of made you who you are.
Thank you.
We have one question, and then we're going to pull up some photos. And since we have so many photos, if y'all could just briefly talk about each photo. But one of the questions that's come up a couple of times, Kevin has asked, with Facebook issues, have y'all found a way to get around your own special effects, your own arts? Have you found a way to get around
Joe's a good one on this one.
Them removing your stuff because of the gore or the graphics of it all?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't.
Normally, you know what? I just have them. I just, in my post, I write, "This is art." I'd start off with a post that way. This is fake. This is art. This is my form of art. If you don't like it, you don't have to look at it.
And you put that stamp on it too, right, Joe?
Yeah, they do now quite a bit, but you can't get around it. Somebody else always has a say in it, but
yeah,
you know.
Okay.
And actually, Jenna, so JM and I knew him as Josh at the time. So
Yeah,
we did a movie called Trolls Bridge, and he made a fake body, and we had it in the back seat of the car, and the police actually pulled us over because they thought we had a body in the car.
Yeah, I don't even
done
want to talk about how many times I've been pulled over with body parts in my car.
That's so awesome.
It's happened. It's actually happened 5 times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. One time I
Damn.
almost got taken to jail. So
We want to do the pictures now.
God forbid
Yeah.
anybody ever walks into Chris's house.
Right?
well, I'm
Chris-
pretty sure that my neighbors think I'm a serial killer.
That's awesome.
I'm pretty sure. I'm almost positive.
That's
But
so cool.
I just want to say one thing to Lariyah and Chris, you know, and about what they've been through and that strength that you find. And I can totally relate to that. I had cancer twice and was told the first time I was not going to make it. And literally, I think never once did I think I'm not going to make it. I was literally like, bullshit, you know? And so that inner thing that was like, I'm going to fucking fight this and I'm going to win
That's awesome.
is what I did. And I got extremely lucky both times. But I think, you know, there's a poem or a saying from a poet that says, I never saw a wild thing sorry for itself. A bird will fall frozen dead from a bough without ever having felt sorry for itself. So I got that tattoo. because to me, I was like, I don't remember a time when I felt sorry for myself. I just remember thinking, this is not going to get me. And you just like have that strength, and it just it defines who you are, like completely on every capacity. And there is no such thing as failure. It just doesn't even resonate. And at least for me. And so I have I can totally relate with Chris and having to go back to the doctors. I had so many complications, and my body is still majorly, it's a joke. People that know me well, they're like, you're missing a lot of organs. Yes. Yes. So, but to me, it's just kind of like, I don't know. I mean, I can relate to that, and I can totally commiserate and appreciate where you guys come from, 100,000%. So, kudos to you guys for fighting.
Excellent. You too. My father has lymphoma, so I do understand. I
beat cancer the second time with THC.
Yeah.
What's
THC
that? I'm sorry.
oil. The second time of cancer, I beat it with THC. I was not able to do
THC
and radiation like I did the first time, because it was destroying my kidneys and my liver. So I literally was like, well, what can I do? So I started taking THC oil, and in 2.5 months, one of my tumors was completely gone, and the other one was about half its size, I believe. So, so I'm an advocate for that too. But I don't know, you might mention that to him.
If I ever wind up getting cancer, I would take the same route, the CBD or just something like that. I wouldn't necessarily want to go for the chemo and radiation, and that's what my father has had to go through a few times. But he's been in remission the last 2 or 3 times he's been there, so that's really good. So it hasn't gotten any worse.
Right.
Isn't there a movie actually about a person that found out that one will have only so much time left, like a week or something, and he went like berserker with his life, like he was like traveling everywhere and like doing some crazy shit? Wasn't there a movie about it? You guys should know that.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that if any of us had this last sentence, like told us, hey, you guys, you have a 10-day span, what are you gonna do? Fuck yeah, I'm going out.
Going nuts.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We're gonna have Joe pull up pictures, and it's gonna be like picture roulette. So jump in, say what you got to say, and then he's probably gonna pull up another one. Joe has something to say.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull each picture up for about 5
several
seconds.
doctors actually told me that like I would never be able to play again.
Wow.
I'm a drummer, by the way. I'm not sure if anybody knew.
Same here. No use of hand, right?
I still can a little bit.
All right. Pictures here, Joe.
So what I'm going to do is each picture about 5 seconds. Everybody has to pay attention because you don't know when your picture is going to show up. I didn't do a really good job shuffling them, though. And Joe, you're not included because you would have taken up the whole show.
Yeah.
It's no disrespect.
Sorry, Joe.
Because we would have had 450 pictures compared to...
Here, I got Joe's right here. Get Joe's movie.
All right.
Thanks.
Xenophobia.
There it is.
Get it.
Xenophobia and... Well, I thought you were going to hold it up for longer than that.
Oh.
It was supposed to be for like 5
I've
seconds.
got
Joe,
mine,
talk
too.
about it.
Yeah, that Xenophobia is a movie that's out right now on all home media platforms. If you love the 70s and 80s practical special effects aliens and you like sci-fi horror, you will love that movie. Go see it now.
I love how he politely corrected me, and it's not xenophobia, it's xenophobia.
Xenophobia. The fear of aliens. Or the fear of anything alien.
That's right.
All right. Are we
Joe.
ready?
All right, here we go.
Ready, set, go.
I'm going to...
Oh, Joe left.
He's gonna pull a picture up.
That one's
That's all Pez.
Yep, that's me. Well, not me, but that's kind of my thing.
Man, meth addict.
Yeah, I can magically take my eye in and out.
Oh, that is cool.
All right, who is that?
That is from Dead Still. I'm not sure if anybody just got to see the DVD cover I was just holding up. Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I played 3 characters in the movie, made the creepy doll prop in it, and helped with special effects makeup. In
Love
fact,
Ray Wise.
That's awesome.
here is the doll. This is the very first doll. I'm not sure if you guys can see it.
Oh yeah. That's creepy.
The very first doll I ever made, and I put it up, and the my friends, the Booth brothers, the director and producer, were like, take it down, because we're gonna put it in our next film. I was like, all right, cool. So
Very cool.
Creepy.
That's awesome.
That one's Amber.
Oh, that's yes. That is Valak, the
That's
the
awesome.
demon nun.
Yes.
Conjuring.
we're gonna have to do some trading. I need some dead nuns over
Yeah.
there. I'm out.
Bonnie's
Absolutely.
watching the
Made
show.
out of a
She'll
real
see it.
doll.
Oh, that's
There's
mine.
some of Lariyah's work.
Yes.
Wow.
Bitch.
Motorhead.
Lariyah is badass at everything she does.
Oh, that's cool when he
That's
wakes
some
up.
homeless
You're
guy.
all badass at everything you do.
Yeah.
Can we just talk about Chris's cheekbones?
That's the doll I
He's-
literally just showed you guys.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so cool.
That's
I can make
beautiful.
scrambled eggs. That's about it.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful. I love that.
That's my
Amber's
Siamese twin.
amazing. Original. I love
Siamese twin doll.
that. I love that.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's my little something that I create.
That's awesome.
Looks like some sexy stuff.
Right.
That's grandma.
Grandma. Fuck grandmas. No.
That's the latest thing I just got done. It's a 6'2" dead bride.
That is awesome.
Think
That's
of
awesome.
the end of Pet Cemetery when his wife comes back
Yes.
at the very end. That's
Yes,
what was
I love
a
that movie.
very big inspiration for that.
Okay.
It looks like she has a nice body.
Oh,
Teddy bears.
Teddy bears.
Bears.
So cool.
Everyone loves the teddy bears. Oh, that's
Nice.
Papa Emeritus.
Papa.
Wow.
You either love them or you hate them. There's no in
That's what I
between.
was trying
No
to
in
think
between.
of
Nope.
earlier in pre-show.
No in between. Ooh.
oh, that's nice.
Oh, wow.
Is that on a leg?
It looks like a thigh.
Wow.
Yep, it's a Mahakali on the thigh on the girl.
Oh.
She's got
That's amazing.
flowers. Oh, that's my pyrography, or how do you call that,
Oh, check it
sir?
out. See?
Wood burning.
Yeah, see the
Yeah.
teeth and the
Yeah.
mouth on it?
Oh, that is cool.
Oh, it's a cat.
Kind of like a part werewolf.
Like a
Oh,
lion.
wow, yeah. I
Lion
see
cat.
it.
You got to go
Oh.
sideways.
I think it's a lion
Yep.
or a werewolf. What is it, Lariyah?
Everybody was turned.
It was a lioness and had and has jaws on sides.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I can't see
Is
the
that-
sailboat.
Yeah, I see.
Is
the
that
back
painted?
stuff.
Is that painted or is it wood
No,
burned?
it's a wood burning.
That is cool.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
beautiful.
killer. That's killer.
Oh, that's my bone sculptures.
Nice.
Sometimes I just collect little crap and glue them together to make something. So
Lariyah, how have I never seen that? As many
Because-
skulls as I have, you never shown me that.
because apparently you're not my best friend as you claim you are. No,
Where do you find such bones? Like, do you just like go to a boneyard? Where do you find
Bone
such
farms.
things?
Hello.
Bone farm?
no, just neighbor's backyard and stuff.
I want to visit your neighbors.
Oh, wicked.
That one looks like Chris.
Yep.
He's just asking for change around town.
Wow.
I would give him my wallet.
Yes.
that
And guys,
was for the Walking Dead for season 4 premiere, but it was for CNN Espanol.
Oh, okay.
CNN Espanol.
guys, I have to admit, I slacked a little and there were many more pictures. I just didn't have time to load them. So if I missed anything or anyone, I really, really, really do apologize. That's all on me.
It's okay.
I think. Have you guys had a good time on the show?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Very
it's been
cool.
Awesome.
The biggest crowd we've ever had.
We did.
Very
We have. It's a
inspiring
lot
see
to cover.
everybody's work and do
Yes,
see
Joe?
everybody's
I was just going
trials
to
and
say, just make
tribulations
sure everybody
means a
goes
lot.
around the room. Let me know who you want to start with, and we'll give them full screen.
Cool.
Let's go with Chris. And Chris, if you want to finish what your sentence was, and then tell everybody where they can find you and what you're
Social
working on.
medias.
I see Chris. Oh, there he is.
Right now, the latest project, I'm going to, once again, just another dead something. I just grab something and usually just, start working with it or start on some makeup, which is usually all myself because there's nobody around here that'll let me do it. So, just start messing with it that way until just work with it till I'm happy with it or I'm ready to throw it across the yard or something like that. And I can be found pretty easily on Facebook, Instagram, but I'm not on Instagram too much. Honestly, the easiest way to find me is just on Facebook, and
It's
I
Facebook.
have
What?
an effects page that's called Pezzano Effects. If you guys want to look me up that way, I don't know. I guess there isn't a way I can put it on here, but
After the show, I think you can make a comment after the show and put it in the comments. And people will be able to go back and look at the comments in there so that you can get the proper spelling for you.
Sure. All right. Yeah, thank you.
All right, Chris, be sure to.
We'll have all of the stuff I've made, from like a long time ago. Anything from dolls to stage props for different metal bands, gauntlets, leather work. I just I've got my hands creating something usually all the time, whether it's special effects type stuff or or just anything that I get interested in or I'm directed towards or falls in my lap or something.
Awesome.
And just try to to go with it so I don't just sit around here and be like bored to death, especially in COVID times.
Hell yeah.
Right?
Hey, Chris.
None of us are getting to work on set. Everything got canceled and you just got to wait. And hopefully next year will be better.
Right.
There it is right there.
Okay, everybody.
Yep.
Anson, thank you, Anson.
Anson, thank you.
Thank you, Anson, for putting that up for me.
Yes.
And Chris, you're in a good this is a good community for you to just stay connected with us, and
Absolutely.
we're connected with. I would love to work with you one of these days, and I'm sure that many people that are our audience and some of our guests would love to work with you as well. So
thank you. I'd love to work with you guys too. I'm totally sure it'll happen.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, we're going to drop you down. Stay in the green room. Don't hang up. And we'll be back to you shortly. And we're going to, it's any, mini, money mode. Tyler, you get to pick this time.
Jenna. I cannot believe that you know JM.
Yeah, he was actually friends with my sister. And they worked together on a haunt in Austin years ago called Britannia Manor.
Was that was over at that was over at what was his name?
Richard Garriott.
Richard Garriott. That was
yes.
Like the line was like 3 miles long to get into the house. I used to go to his birthday parties. At his birthday parties, his fireworks show was like 30 minutes long.
Oh yeah, he's like a really good friend of my family. So yeah, he's been a really awesome friend. But yeah, that's where the introduction to Josh, aka JM, happened.
Do you know Janae?
Huh?
Do you know
What?
Janae?
I
Janae
know.
Rowe.
Yeah, I know who she is. I have never met her, but yes, I know who she is.
Okay, she was my best friend for years and years and years. I told you about her earlier, Lariyah. I'm going to actually go see her next weekend. And I haven't seen her in probably 9 years. So that's awesome.
Go to the gas station next weekend, Jenna.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, I'm going to see them on the 5th.
Yes, we're going to be at
I'm
the gas
actually
station on the
sleep
5th.
in king-size bed with Lance and Sam.
I think we got 2 beds, but just in case.
But listen, if any funny stuff starts to happen, I do not want you to get jealous, Sam. This is between me and Lance.
Awkward.
Jenna,
where can we find you on social media?
Well, I'm the worst at social media. I'll just say that right now. My 48 years shows because I don't know squat about social media. But anyway, my Facebook is, my name's Jenna Green, and then my Instagram is Spooky Feet. Yeah, and so I have like a crap ton of photos from the over years that I really need to post that I just haven't gotten around to doing yet. And my website is actually being revamped, redone by a friend of mine. So hopefully that'll be done by the first of the year. So yeah, and it's Scaredy Cat Effects.
Awesome.
Scaredy
Yeah.
cat. Scaredy cat.
Yeah, Scaredy Cat Effects.
Gotcha.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we will see you in just a minute.
Don't go away.
Thank you, Jenna.
Your pick.
Joe Castro. You're muted, Joe. Okay, now he's not.
Hey, okay. Oh, okay. I'm not muted. I had to do a quick note on my phone because I wanted to share what's going on. Okay. Best way to reach me is facebook.com/joe.castro. And I'm the first Joe Castro if you IMDb me. But some movies I want to give a shout out to that you need to look out for right now out on all home media platforms. You have Big Freaking Rat, Amityville Harvest, and Xenophobia. And look out for Slaughter Q, A Country Club.
Yes.
Directed by Shane Bradford. The effects for that film. Alien Vampire Hunters, directed by Rob Namir. Alien Danger and Hollywood Werewolf, directed by James Balsamo.
Yes.
The Bleeding Dark, directed by Jason Hawkins. I did some incredible effects for that film. All practical, some really cool ghost stuff. A movie called La Chusa, and it's a Mexican folklore movie about a giant evil owl. The Barn 2, directed by Justin Seaman. That should be coming out this year. Z Dead End, directed by Robert Restro.
Yes.
A different Robert Restro. And also he's directing a new movie called Brain Hunter, The New Breed, which I am very grateful to be a part of. Also an untitled vampire film directed by the Justin Price, a really good friend of mine down in Texas. And I did some really incredible, all practical effects, all these movies. These are just some of the titles. And of course, last but not least, we are getting ready to produce and complete Terror Toons 4, which is the final installment in the Terror Toons franchise. And it stars Linnea Quigley, Brink Stevens, Debbie Rashawn, all of them. I mean, these Scream Queens have been in over 200 films, each one of them. Linnea has been in The Nightmare on Elm Street, Silent Night, Deadly Night, Return of the Living Dead, Night of the Demons. Brink Stevens was in the original
Slumber Party
Massacre. Yeah. She's the very first kill. She's the very first kill in the original Slumber Party Massacre. And she's been in a whole bunch of movies. Also, we're going to have Fred Olen Ray in the movie. Fred Olen Ray is a director that's literally inspired countless filmmakers all over the world. Alps and Biohazard were his first 2 films that I saw growing up as a young teenager. And of course, there's Billy Butler is in the movie. Billy Butler is one of the lead stars in Tom Savini's color remake of Night of the Living Dead. He was also in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. He was also in Friday the 13th Part 7. And his resume is so impressive. And so I'm just saying, right now we have the Indiegogo campaign going. We're 24 hours away from being done with it. Like I said, we made the first. Oh, Steve's over here on the couch. Give me commentary over
Steve.
here for it.
Will you
But,
tell
you know,
Steve to come on camera?
Steve, come stick your face in over here.
Every time you're on, we always ask for Steve to come on, and Steve never comes on.
Okay, wait, hold on a second. I'm gonna see if you can hear me through the here. You're gonna have to say it through there. Can you say this?
Yes.
Hello.
Steve. Yes.
Steve.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, we only
Awesome.
have $4,000 left to reach our goal. So anyone who can, who wants to buy a perk, come on, take a look at the Indiegogo campaign.
24 hours.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
Thanks,
We
Steve.
finally saw Steve on the show.
And Steven and I and this DP, his name is Isaac Garza. We shot the first Terror Tunes in 3 days for $2,300 in a little house over here in Reseda, California. It's just all three of us and the cast. And now we're trying to do the final installment, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be something really, really cool and unique. It's like any other horror movie you've ever seen. It's not a campy slasher movie. It's a very stylized, unique cult art, dark horror film. And I swear to you, there will be something in that movie that you've never seen before.
Awesome.
The promise I make to everybody out there.
So what we need to do is bottle Joe's energy and distribute it to everybody in the brigade.
If only I could wish, right?
Everybody's in over here.
Right. Thank you, Joe. We'll see you in just a minute. Don't go away.
Thank you, Joe.
All right. Any mini? Lariyah or Amber? Who wants to go next?
Tyler, you gonna make the call?
Let's go, Lariyah.
All right, so I have probably a little bit too many things to list, so I'm just going to say that the easiest way to get the link to all the crap I do is facebook.com/damnlariyah, spelled like this, Lariyah right there. So just /damnlariyah, and all the will pop. And one thing that I do encourage to look for, if you don't find it on Facebook, because we'll be only in the process of making of this film. As soon as we find the sponsors and everything else, which will still happen next year, is to follow the filmmakers. And this is how their name is spelled, is El Jinete, and they are on Facebook, or this is their website, eljinetefilms.com. And they're working on a lot of films. In case you guys wanted to even check it out, like this one, for example, is one of the ones that I was featured on, and it's about the dying, pretty much breed of heavy metal. So they got a lot of recognition, as you guys can see. And
the last kamikazes of heavy metal.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was a great experience going on tour for many, 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 many days for them to film us, and us not giving a shit that there's any cameras around. So it was great. But anyhow, lots of drama, and so the death pretty much of the metal scene, of the, I guess, 80s style, as you would say, and those who still love that genre. So anyhow, but yeah, the movie will be released through them, and I'm sure they will be having all kinds of updates on that. And as far as the tattooing and everything else, the name of the tattoo is Iron Wings Tattoo. But again, just go to facebook.com/damnlariyah and you'll get everything.
Awesome.
And you're in Chicago and Denver now.
Yes. So far, I still live in Denver, but I'll be traveling like every roughly month to Chicago and back.
Cool.
Very cool.
And she does amazing work. I'm just going to go ahead and show this real quick. Can I show this? Is that okay?
It's not finished.
Okay. Never mind.
Whoa.
You can show the owl. You can
We
show
got a
the
sneak
owl.
peek.
No, she told me no.
No, you can show the owl for now, but not the bottom yet.
But I can't show the owl unless I show the bottom, because
Well, if you sit right now like that, that's what we're going to see.
Just pull your sleeve up right there.
So, yeah,
Oh,
don't
okay.
stand up.
All right, so here's the owl.
Oh, that is wicked. That is awesome.
There
The
we go.
eye
Look
is
at the
cool.
Detail in that.
Oh yeah, it's insane. I mean, the eye and just the detail in the feathers. So it's on top of a Norwegian compass, And then the owl is symbolism for me, but it's my Amakua. It's just like a deified ancestor. And I can't show you down here, but I love all of this so much.
Amber has sleeves almost done by me too, so it's
Oh, that's awesome.
Ooh, beautiful.
Oh, wait a second. Hold on, Amber.
That's so
Do
cool.
it again.
That is awesome.
Can
I
you
was
tell
just about to show you. Morticia Adams,
wow.
my idol. I think this was
That
your
is true.
first portrait that you ever did too. So I was kind of your guinea pig with the portrait, and it turned out amazing. I love it. The original Morticia Adams, by the way.
Right.
You mean the only one?
But yeah, she does amazing work.
I love that.
That is so
And
cool.
and Lance, you know, you and I we're BFFs, right?
Uh-huh.
Lariyah's creeping up.
Oh man, Lariyah, don't
She
take him from me.
She has two best friends. Amber's one of them, and my goal is to be one of her like third or fourth, or maybe even fifth best friend.
That's awesome.
Uh-oh, you got competition. Hi, Robin. Hey, Robin is in here.
Yay.
Awesome.
Robin is the original Viking from Norway. Hello,
Oh,
Robin.
Wow.
Very cool guy.
Wow.
Thank you for joining us.
That picture was cool. It was ominous.
Yeah, it was.
He's a
We
cool
got-
guy.
We got
Everyone
Amber
needs to
left.
everyone needs to have a 5-minute conversation with Robin because it will change your life.
Seriously, I do want to talk to Robin. I'm going to go ahead and talk to him.
Well, before you guys take me down to the green room, I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for putting us together and getting my friends along because they are absolutely fantastic. And I'm
Y'all
like,
are.
I'm like the least involved in film. Like these two should definitely work with you guys. So yes, but thank you again for everything.
Thank you for sharing everything with us
Thank
too,
you, yes.
Lariyah. That was
Thank
awesome.
Thank you, Lariyah.
We'll see you in a minute.
What's
All
his
right,
name?
Amber.
Robin.
RAVN
Furiord?
FURFJORD.
All right. Yep. Wow. He looks intense.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. He's an intense guy. Very cool.
Well, will he be all right with me if I add him as a friend?
So I'm
I'm sure
thinking
he
like
will.
you have to conquer him before you can knock Lance out of number one. How about that?
Yeah, he's the last boss you have to conquer.
Yeah, right? That's awesome.
I'm
For nobody
standing
who
my
got that
ground.
reference.
Okay, Amber,
All
where
right.
can
it's
everybody
your
find
turn,
you?
Amber.
Yes, thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate the invite and everything. And it was great, especially the special effects with Chris and Jenna. That was just great to get some insight because I've never gotten really any behind the scenes with that before. And I've always been interested. So that was really cool to hear what they had to say. And I already shared Lariyah's work, Iron Wings tattoo. I'm almost there. But for my dolls, you can find me at Facebook. I'm old and unhip, so I'm not on Instagram, just Facebook. It's Dead End Doll Factory. Funny story.
There it is.
Yeah, I was driving down the street. I was trying to find a name for my art, and I saw a sign that just said dead end, like a regular dead end. I was just like, well, that would be kind of cool. It's kind of like a play on words thing with dead end doll factory, right? Pretty cool.
Way to go.
I
And
love it.
I'm gonna plug you
First
because
boss
you
is
do
John
awesome.
Gaga. Yes, the first boss is John Gaga.
That's
Who wore
awesome.
it better?
And I do want to ask, and hopefully I'm not interrupting Sam here, but you do local shows or you do conventions like in Chicago. Texas
I do.
has so many like Frightmare, Cult Classic Convention. There's other ones that I'm sure Lance and Sam know more than I do. Like, it would be great to get you to these conventions as well.
That would be cool. Because I lived in Florida for 5 years or something like that. It was a dark time in my life. But anyway, I was in Orlando. I was in Orlando and doing
Just
adult
in Florida.
I knew
And-
Joe was popping up.
I've been down here since 1984, so a transplant from New York, no less.
Everyone is when I lived there, everyone was either from New York or Chicago. So I get it. It was fun for a while. I totally get why people retire there and vacation there. But to live there, best of luck to you. I'm glad you like it.
1984.
You had the death metal scene. You had the death metal scene in the 90s, right? Like, I mean, that counts as for Florida, the metal. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, besides Amber coming to any cons or anything, was, oh my gosh, if y'all need a creepy doll for your movie, let's hook Amber up.
Yeah.
Because
that would be
I think
great.
She can
And
make it happen.
Right. And I was going to say, when I was living down there, I went to a show in Orlando, and I was really hoping someone from Universal would be there and be like, hey, you got great dolls. You want a job? But it didn't happen.
Well, we're friends with some pretty creepy people that have some pretty sick senses of movie making stuff. So I think we could hopefully find you some twisted work.
Yeah.
I would appreciate that.
We'll be sharing your stuff too.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you for having me. This was fun.
You're
awesome,
welcome.
Amber.
We'll see
Thank
you in
you.
just a minute.
All right, yeah. Don't log off. We're gonna go.
Okay.
So.
Okay, we got to do the drawing real
We
quick.
got to do a drawing real quick.
Darth
So
Vader passed away, so
that's why he picked the cup. I wanted an Indie Brigade cup. So we did a thing. Anybody who shared, you got your name in.
100
and
shares. Thank y'all.
See, they're all in there. They're little tiny pieces of paper. So I
right,
did them on
Trevor.
the computer. Are you holding?
And by
You
the way,
picking?
that was epic. 100 shares.
What awesome.
It was. Okay, we got
We're
one.
loved.
They're little tiny.
This is for an unopened hacked. Matt Leal, Matthew Fessel, I think Lou Temple, Sean C. Phillips, Tom Mulligan, Alan Maxner in this. does it say?
Focus.
Sean Smith.
Why won't it focus?
It's Sean Smithson.
Is it really Sean Smith?
It's
He
Sean
wins
Smithson.
everything.
Just
Why won't it go?
can you type it in?
No.
There.
Well, it almost.
She's
had it.
moving too much.
Wow, that's a lot of work.
All right, so it says
Sean
Sean
Smithson.
Smithson. Congratulations.
Yeah, awesome.
We will get you your.
You win
copy.
everything. You won on other shows too.
Yay.
I want to know what Sean Smithson thought about Lariyah's guitar.
Did you see what he said about the ink? He must get some ink.
Oh,
he said,
does-
he goes, oh, Denver? You said
Oh
that
yeah,
too,
yeah, yeah.
sorry.
He can go there. Yeah, because he's in Longmont, right?
Yeah, he perked up on that.
Perfect. Oh yeah, yeah. She's the best.
Sean
I will
is gonna-
never get another tattoo from anybody else except for her.
Right. Sean's going to see a specialist soon. Y'all keep him in his thoughts. He had a woodworking incident with his hand. He's broken in multiple ways, and
He's not.
Let's
able
hope
to
for
work
him
right
that
now.
it's the shortest, easiest recovery, and not anything major that's going to take him out for a while, because he's probably jonesing to use his tools.
Yeah, he'll get back into it. Good luck to you, Sean.
Yeah. Well, he's got a movie to watch in the meantime.
Yeah, he does. That's awesome.
Thank
too.
you, Mark, for the cap.
Yeah, Wheels. Thank you.
Man.
And thank you, Matthew and Matt, for that movie.
Yes, thank you.
So
Tyler,
Yes.
you're back in the real world. Where can we find you?
Oh, man.
Besides in our hotel room or next to Lance, where I
On the
have
king
to,
size bed. That was
you know.
I'm not going to sleep on the king size bed with you guys, just in case nobody got that. Joe didn't get that joke.
we have a room with 2 beds in it. He's safe.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay with them. We're gonna go see Amelia Kincaid sign autographs at the garage, or no, not the
gas
garage,
station.
the gas station in Bastrop, where the original gas station from Chainsaw. So you'll find me there, and then you can also find me on Instagram at tylershakon.com, whatever. Facebook, yeah,
Instagram.
I got to get better at this shit because I don't really like social media at all.
Lance,
You're
where can we
preaching,
find
man.
Tyler?
You're preaching. We've
Just
been doing
idiot
the
inquiries
Brigade
come
for
through
over
me.
a year now, and trying to go between Facebook, Instagram, Twitter,
Twitch,
and
I'm sorry.
We still haven't got Tyler hooked up to the Twitch or the Discord.
A lot of people are lost on that Twitch.
You know what's
Discord.
never mind. There's just too many avenues for contact.
There is.
I need one avenue of contact, and that's it. I don't
That's
need
Lance.
Just everybody send their shit to me.
multiple avenues where I'm like, oh, here's a message from this, and here's a message from this, and then so and so is trying to. it overwhelms me. And I don't do this to you. I promise I don't do this to you, even though I'm sure you think this. But sometimes, like, you see a message pop up and you're like, nah, I'll see that later. And then you're like 2 weeks later, you're like, oh, I forgot to get back to them. It's just too much contact.
Well, you see, we know that doesn't happen with Lance and you because he'll keep hitting the button, send.
No, anytime, like, when Sam and Lance ever contact me, like, I'm on that. Like, I respond to them very, very quickly.
Well, that's usually text message too. So
yeah,
he might not be on the socials. But he's got his text always with him. So
well, the other thing too is I work on my phone. Like work is through my phone, so it's constant, like, just this feed.
I was trying to find an app. I downloaded an app, and it will merge all of your messagings together into one app. And I will tell you what that is, but I can't find it on my
So
other
it's even
computer
more
right
confusing.
Yeah, I was about to say,
you just link-
I agree with Joe. That sounds almost like
more confusing.
You just link them all, and all your messages come to one place, and you answer, and it sends it where it needs to go.
What if I pick 10 people that I want to communicate with the rest of my life, and then just stick with that?
It's gonna be a boring
It's gonna be a
life.
little bubble.
10 people. That's 10.
But you're in
couldn't
the
talk
industry.
to
10
10 people in
people
one
is like
day.
nothing in the industry.
Yeah, I've dropped your name to 10 people for movies. I mean, come on.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you. I'm just saying, like, for my day-to-day, like, if I could just limit my communication with 10 people.
I don't know, Tyler, you probably have 10 hairdressers.
No,
Like, he's got amazing hair, right?
No, I do not. Look at this.
Look at that. It's amazing hair.
I don't have 10 hairdressers. And out of those 10, my son is going to be one of those 10.
Right.
So now I'm looking at 9.
All right, so we got people in the green room.
Yes.
Yeah, waiting for us because we're just BSing right now. So.
Right, we are.
Thank y'all for everything that they shared and people watching. Awesome show, guys.
Love you guys.
We love you
Love
guys. Mwah.
Love you, Joe.
Love you, Joe.
Hey,
Love
Joe.
you, Tyler.
In 1 week, I'm going to be right between that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want a picture of that sandwich. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, everybody, thank you for joining us on Romero Pictures Heavy Metal Indie Brigade presents the Wagner Wiles with Lance and Sam Wagner, and of course, Tyler Shane Cohn. Yes. You guys do your kissy thing and let's sign off.
We did already.
We did.
Mwah,
More
again.
reason to kiss.
Do it one more time.
Y'all make